And then the Tigo has mangosteen fruit in it, which is really high on the ORAC chart for antioxidant ability to take care of the free radicals, the oxidative stress that goes on. Detoxification, again, that 1,500 metric tons of poison that your naked eye cannot see that is in our air. And so we take all, just breathing, we're bringing in chemicals into the body. Then we look at foods that are cooked to death, so you had no nutrition in that food anyway, or maybe it was deep fried to death. Just like white sugar. The amount of... had a friend that worked at a sugar plant. He told me that the ovens to process the beets to make sugar was 2,500 degrees. Well, no wonder there's no nutrition in sugar. And even the flies and worms don't want it. Look how long that can sit out on a table and nothing ever happens with that stuff. It just lays there in that bowl. Yeah, it'll get hard, but yeah, you don't. There's no bugs make their way into it because they know they'll die. Yeah. But then the human says, "Oh, but it tastes good, so I'm going to eat more," and you wonder why you're brain dead. So, yeah, really, it's like my friend Dr. Jensen said. You can take a loaf of multigrain bread, leave it out in the desert. Take a loaf of multigrain bread and take a loaf of white iron enriched bread. And I'm not going to, give a name, but you know what? Our athletes do not eat that bread. Okay, that's one of those commercials of a bunch of money spent to tell you they do, but they don't. So put that loaf of wheat bread out there, multigrain bread. Put a loaf of white bread out there, and come back in a couple weeks. The white bread's still there. It's moldy, but it's still there. The wheat bread? Yeah. The insects have plowed through it. Even the bug knows what to go to for the nutrition. So, yeah. And, hey, there's people that still like white bread. And, here's one thing. Take some white bread, chew it up. Chew it up real good in your mouth. Just don't swallow it. Then push it. Take your thumb. Push it up to the roof of your mouth. It's going to stick up on the roof of your mouth real good. Now go ahead and eat what you're eating. That stuff will stay on the roof of your mouth. Where do you think that it's going when it processes through the body? Yeah, it's building up on the wall of your bowel. Yeah, it's sticky, icky, sticky, icky, dead food, dead bread. Just like we got dead lettuce, it's a leaf lettuce, head lettuce, iceberg, dead lettuce, no nutrition, garbage. That was one thing that was plentiful at the salad bars in Branson. Dead head lettuce, yeah, we didn't eat any. We didn't eat any. And then the cucumbers they had were soaked down in white vinegar. I mean, come on, white vinegar. Clean your windows with it. Clean whatever with white vinegar. Don't put it in your body. Look it up. White vinegar destroys your red platelets. White vinegar. No, not in your body. That's for cleaning. Not in your food. Yeah, so I couldn't even find a cucumber. It wasn't bathing in. Hey, actually, it was limp. There was no crisp to it. It was limp, and it was floating in white vinegar. It's like, God, you guys. Jeez. It's like all I could think of was, I can't wait to get home to my alkaline water and, hey, to start my cleanse, which I did. It's like, wow. Your food, you guys, oh boy. And you wonder why people are sick. Right. Okay, so detoxification. The brain is the most chemically sensitive organ in the body. It's highly susceptible to damage from environmental toxins. Chemical toxins are another major cause of mental illness. Intestinal inflammation and leaky gut syndrome are also linked to depression, hyperactivity, ADHD, and schizophrenia. Natural healers recognize the connection between constipation and toxicity and depression. Irritability can also occur from toxins irritating the body. A good cleanse, we've got a Teo Heat cleanse, that's TIAOHE cleanse, or the Clean Start. You know, that just gets in there and bulks things up and carries stuff off that are hanging around and not supposed to be there. Nature's 3 is Nature's 3 has oat bran in it, and psyllium, apple pectin is in that, and that's a great source of fiber, and will also give that bulking agent into the bowel. Digestive enzymes, the food enzymes, proactozymes, are needed to help break the food down and to effectively eliminate the toxins. Supplements that tone the intestinal tract is also really helpful. Cascara, peristaltic, cascara. I had a friend one time that she said she couldn't even hold them in her hand. She had to go to the bathroom. And that's the energy. Herbs, organic food, they have an energy to them. We have an energy. We have an aura. That's our energy field. Things that are alive have an aura. They have an energy field. You can look at under a high-powered microscope. You can look at an herb. You can look at organic, a piece of organic food, a fruit, a slice of vegetable. It has an energy field to it. I'm going to tell you what doesn't have an energy field to it. Prescription medications have no energy field. They have no light illuminating around the periphery of the pill or the tablet when you look at it under a high-powered microscope. There's no energy field to it. It's dead. There's no energy field illuminating around sugar. It's dead. If it's dead, it's not giving you any nutrition. Synthetic man-made vitamins have no energy field. If you have a food-based, herb-based vitamin and you look at it underneath a high-powered microscope, it has blue and green and yellow and red that just, illuminates around the periphery of that tablet. It's alive. There's nutrition in it. It's alive. It has an energy field to it. There are synthetic vitamins out there, and those, I can't give the names. I don't want to give the names, but I'll tell you what, there's a big one out there, and they even have it in their silver formula. Forget it. Huh? Oh, you don't? Okay, well, you do. Yeah. So, it's not silver, it's not silver like our silver sol, it means for, 50 plus, and it's dead. And actually, a synthetic vitamin can actually cause the problem with the organ that you are taking the supplement for to correct. And another thing, if you have a lot of inorganic minerals that are settled in your body, the only way to leach them out and pull them out is to use that particular mineral that occurs naturally in food or in the herb kingdom. So inorganic iron can be leached out of the body. Say if you have hemochromatosis or something like that, you've got a problem with the liver storing too much iron. It can't utilize it. And an inorganic iron is absolutely going to make it worse. They have a diet, hemochromatosis has a diet of where there's no iron. They try to get the iron out of their diet. If you use things like cherries, red beets, remember, things that are red are high in iron. All the foods in the food kingdom that are red are high in iron. Watermelon. Okay? When you start adding foods into the diet that are high in iron, that will leach out that inorganic iron that is settled in the tissue in the body.
Interesting. Because I know when I came down with my Hep C many years ago, the first thing that he pretty much told me on some of the changes that I needed to make for it was to get rid of all the iron that he said that I stored too much iron. And
okay.
So cast iron pans.
Right.
No
right, because cast iron pans, the iron does leach out of them into the food, just like aluminum pans, aluminum foil. That aluminum is soft. It leaches out, and it leaches into the food. So if you're barbecuing or something, and like yesterday, we had wild-caught salmon, and, barbecued it along with some, grass-fed beef, and but I wanted the salmon, and I wrapped it in wax paper, or parchment paper, actually. I wrapped it in parchment paper and covered it all up, and then wrapped it in the foil. So the seal, to protect, the meat on the fish, to protect it from the foil, the aluminum, was the parchment paper.
I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great.
And you do that with
Anything, everything. Yeah, yeah. So the other thing too here, from a toxic situation, with our air, our food, our water, detoxification. We have a product called Yeast Fungal Detox, which is really good for people who have a problem with candida, with yeast infections. Acidophilus, bifidophilus, fluorophores, probiotic 11, all of those things there help to rebuild that good bacteria, that flora in the gut. If you're exposed to things like mercury, Mad Hatter's disease. You ever heard of the Mad Hatter?
Oh, sure.
Okay, well, the Mad Hatter, it was mercury. For a long time, dentists had the shortest life expectancy of any doctor in the medical field was a dentist.
Wow.
Was the mercury, the amalgam fillings, that they were dealing with those mercury gases all the time. Mad Hatter, it's mercury that went into the hats.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, so...
Oh, that makes sense. Why?
Yeah, Mad Hatters. Major contributing factor to mental breakdown is heavy metal poisoning. Mercury, lead, cadmium. Cadmium in the cigarettes, cadmium in the air. Aluminum all contribute to the breakdown of brain and nervous system tissue. Mercury is known to cause insanity, epilepsy, paralysis, and may be a major contributing factor in the development of multiple sclerosis. Everybody who's ever come to me over the years that were diagnosed with MS, the first thing I had them do was open their mouth. And man, you just wouldn't believe all the silver amalgam fillings. I mean, their mouth was full of them. And I've got one gal that has done so well. She came to me in, I think it was 91. And her husband about 4 years ago asked the neurologist, how does my wife do compared with your other MS patients? Do you know that the neurologist told them both that she did better than any of his patients at all? She did better than all of them. And she was the only patient that would not take any of the prescription medications he tried to get her to take over the years.